There's a lot going on in this Ukrainian-Polish relationship. For more analysis, we're joined in studio by George Weigel. Professor Weigel is a distinguished senior fellow and chair of Catholic Studies at the Ethics and Public Policy Center. He's an expert on Poland and Eastern Europe and has written extensively on support for Ukraine. George, it's really great to have you here, especially knowing that this is an emotionally fraught topic for many. We just watched the reactions from Poles and Ukrainians that Colin brought to us. Tell me, what is this relationship between them? What is your analysis of the Ukrainian-Polish relationship?
Let's start with a story.
Yeah.
About a year ago, I met a Polish friend, a distinguished physicist, who had just hosted a colleague from Japan, an equally distinguished physicist. And obviously, they talked about the war going on next door. And after a few minutes of conversation, the Japanese physicist said to my Polish friend, "Where are the camps?" Meaning refugee camps. And my Polish friend said, "There aren't any." And the Japanese fellow was shocked at this. I mean, you have refugees, you have refugee camps.
Right,
he said, "Well, where are they?" He said, "Well, they're in people's homes." The response of Poland to this extraordinary set of events next door and this flood of refugees has been nothing short of exceptional for all the reasons we just watched.
Right.
These people have been welcomed. They've been given health care benefits. Their children are going to Polish schools. It's certainly going to cause some friction over time. But the important big story here is there are no camps. And that needs to be focused on. Secondly, I think it's important to say that the church has been quite extraordinary in all of this. Both the church in Poland, the church around the world, the Knights of Columbus have done exceptional work, as was just pointed out. The third thing that Americans need to realize is that this problem is not going away. We have to grow up and face it. And we're going to be dealing with it and its ramifications for a long time to come. The present estimates are that it is going to cost $1 trillion to repair the damage that Russia has continued to inflict on Ukraine. $1 trillion.
Yeah.
And that's before we get to the human cost of this, which has been exceptional. So I'm glad you're focusing attention on this. I'm glad we're acknowledging how extraordinary Poland's response to the crisis next door has been. Polish-Ukrainian history is not a happy one in many decades and centuries. And yet the immediate reaction of Poles to refugee Ukrainians suggested that this is still a Christian country.
That's right.
This is still a Christian country.
And it's so with that long view of history, of past relationships and what's going on now, how far will that Christian welcome stretch? Let's start there, and then we can talk about how it can be helped to stretch.
I think it's important for Europe as a whole, particularly Poland, but not just Poland, to feel that the United States is in this with Europe. We can't be in it in the same way. But if this childishness on Capitol Hill, there's no other word for it, this is childishness on Capitol Hill, continues, and there is a real break between Europe and the United States on the question of Ukraine and support for Ukraine, then we are heading into very, very deep and troubled waters indeed. So that's the first thing I think it's important. Europeans need to know that America understands that this is America's battle, too. There are going to be tensions here. I mean, this is obvious. You can't have 1.5 million displaced persons land in your country, speaking a different language, bearing a different history. Ukrainian Catholics worship in a different way. Most of them are Greek Catholics rather than Latin Rite, and not expect some tensions. But to go back to where I began, there are no camps.
Right.
And that's an extraordinary accomplishment.
A different kind of welcome. But something that I know that you would be an expert in is this anti-communism move by the church. The history of that, which you've written with John Paul II, is that stance for Catholics in particular, not just American Catholics, in supporting Ukrainians in this plight. Is this very Catholic because of that? Is it the fulfillment of that?
I think it's a basic Christian instinct to help the neighbor. It's the Good Samaritan parable writ large. This is pre-ideological. I mean, Poles are fiercely anti-communist. Mm-hmm. They're also fiercely anti-Russian. Mm-hmm. But the immediate response, I think, did not touch either old Cold War memories or aggravations. It was a deeply Christian response. Now, it's also important for us to recognize whose fault all of this is. This is Mr. Putin's fault. He is conducting a genocidal war, the purposes of which he described 2 days before the invasion 2 years ago as the eradication of Ukraine. Mm-hmm. He hasn't backed off of that 1 millimeter. And in the recent, I will use the word, murder of Alexei Navalny, he's made it very clear that he's not backing off on his own autocracy, homicidal autocracy at home. This is a long-term problem. We've got to get out of social media think and internet war game think, and understand that where we are in this struggle right now is where things were in the Second World War 2 months before the United States got into it. This could go on for quite a while.
That's right. Yeah. Particularly on that note, we've got 1 minute left. Your thoughts, you've shared about this, on why this aid is vital for the survival of democracy. You've made that clear. So knowing that this is the comparison that you're making to World War II, why is that vital?
Putin is trying to undo the verdict of history in the Cold War. He's trying to rebuild the Russian Empire. He's trying to rebuild the Soviet Empire. He's trying to destabilize Central Europe, the Baltics, Poland, etc. This cannot be allowed to happen. The Ukrainians are fighting our fight at this point. They deserve our support, and people need to grow up in the House of Representatives and understand that that is the task that history has laid before them right now.
Well, we know that with the recent funeral, which we're about to talk about, we have a lot on our consciences. Thank you so much, George.
Thank you for having me.